So here's what you're going to need in your Photoshop file for us to use it in Adobe Premiere to best effect. For one thing, any fonts that you've got, you really should open up this character panel right here and make it a bold one. Even if it's already a bold, you can actually make it bolder. And that really helps with the legibility. You can see that I've got a white glow around this black text that has my name in it. If I turn off that glow, you can see how much easier that is to read. I've also got my favorite things here with a number of different effects on them. It's that outer glow that's causing the black outline around it. If I turn on the stroke, you can see that white with yellow, it doesn't really help it. You need an opposite color. And so instead of the stroke, I went with an outer glow. We're going to need 3 more layers. This one I have as animals. It is going all the way across the safe zone. And you can see that I've got several effects on here that don't interfere with each other too much. It's that green outer glow that's really making it easy to see. So right there, those colors are pretty similar to the background, with that green really contrasts nicely. Now I'm going to need 2 more. In my set of pictures that I got by finding them with my students, I've got animals, sports, and food. So I don't have to create everything from scratch. I can take this animals layer and go down to this new layer, and now I've got a copy. I will go ahead and turn these off so I can concentrate just on this category here. I'm going to type food. Now this is a much shorter word, so I should be able to make the font larger. Notice that I do have to select it in order to make that larger, so I'm going with a 500. I think I got that one pretty good. And you might center it. You can use this move tool to move it around a little bit. You get those purple lines that help you figure out like when things are centered just right. Just a little help there. And if you do want it to look different, you don't have to do a whole lot. Notice I'm going to double click on the gradient overlay. Brings up blending options, and I can just choose a different gradient here. And now I've got a very different look. You could play around with it a little more, but you don't need to spend a lot of time. The other one is sports. So if I duplicate food, I gotta shrink it down again. So I think I'm going to duplicate animals here again. Hide my food one. There we go. So this is the animals copy. You can rename it this way. Notice that food automatically renamed it to the text that was in there. Let me change this to sports. And select it. And I can bring that up to maybe 450. Nope, a little too big. I really want this to go across as far as it can. There we go. These should be very, very large words right here for these. Gradient overlay once again. It is possible to make changes here. So if you just want to have your own set of colors, notice I'm just double clicking on the color stop and choosing something else. Red is often hard to see, but with this particular gradient, I now have my sports. Let me go ahead and minimize these. Makes it a lot easier to see all 5 of your important layers. So I can go food, sports, and animals, all ready to go, plus those 2. Notice I can click and drag, and it'll turn them all on and off. Makes it kind of nice, especially in order to do a spell check. Once you have all this done, please don't forget to check spelling. They're all visible, and it only has my name there as a spell check needed. All right, so this is what we can save. If you want to have some different backgrounds as well, then that's a-okay with me. Notice I called this one BG1. You can make new ones and fill them with gradients, do anything fancy. Just call this one BG2 and hide the first one if you're going to go ahead and make something, let's say with a gradient. So there's a nice gradient in the background. There are a lot of different preset ones. And of course, if you go with that difference mode, you can create something pretty unique right away. So this would be BG2. You can have, I'd say 4 of them, because you've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 for your title. You don't want to overload this because all of these layers are going to be brought into Adobe Premiere.